Welcome to Atlanta Tarot. This is the tarot forecast for Gemini for the month of June 2019. Welcome, Gemini. Happy birthday for the June birthdays. And happy birthday for the May birthdays. Let's see what messages are coming through for you this month. Okay, energy around your reading for June is the Four of Swords. So it's time to take a step back, Gemini, and just watch and see what's going on at the moment. You don't have to participate. You just have to observe. And if you're tired or exhausted, which often the Four of Swords can indicate, you need to just sort of take it easy a bit. In whichever way you can. It doesn't mean sort of just calling in sick for a month for the month of June, because that card's there. It's about just watching, observing, listening, using your other skills that you have. Because something's happening with the Four of Swords, and you need to sort of see it from the perspective of the Four of Swords. Where you are right now, Queen of Cups. So she's very much a receptive queen as well. She sits back and listens. She's there, listening, watching, just taking it all in. It's like those friends we have that sort of, they're great in a way, but sometimes they don't really say much, but they're listening and they're watching everything. And then if you ask them later on what they thought, it's very acute what they've said. They've sort of kept their own counsel, but their observations powers are really, really good and really emotional too. They just take that time to just watch and wait. So there you are. So if that's any of you, or if that's a person that you're dealing with, I'd say it's sort of more for you this month, Gemini, just about, just being receptive, letting things just flow around you. What's brought that on is, the King of Swords. So this guy here, he's a very strong character, that King of Swords. He's very, very mentally bright and alert, and he's got something to say about everything, and he's usually quite sort of fascinating to listen to. His insights, he's usually at the top of the top drawer in terms of expertise in whatever field he's in. Often he can be a legal person, a lawyer, a barrister, that kind of person, someone you go to get information or, expert tips from, really. If he's sort of a romantic character, he can be a bit, very much charming and all that. He knows what to say and how to say it and all this. But we're just watching, remember, this month, Gemini. So let's just see who he is and why is he sort of in your reading. And because it's the crossing card, it will affect all the other cards in the reading for June, this King of Swords. The background of the situation, we have the Five of Wands. So, things have been typical for a Gemini, fighting spot fires. So one goes out and another one fires up. But it's just about keeping your focus, basically, the Five of Wands, Gemini. So that's been in the past. So lots of things sort of stepping in. It's sort of like that interrupting card. It interrupts. So you're trying to get from A to B, but constantly being interrupted. But as you probably worked it out, you've just got to keep with your focus what you're doing, and just keep doing that to get to the end result and the desired result that you want. It can be difficult with the Five of Wands, but it's there. So if you've learned that recently or found yourself in that situation, maybe in April, May, you knew that you just had to get through it. You had to keep focusing on the main point. Recent influences. Four of Wands, so obviously That's that happy home and hearth card. It's also a consolidation card of sort of ready for the next level. If this is work or creativity, something else, you know, you're really sort of looking at getting to the next level. You're ready for the next level. You've put in a lot of hard work. Very much a movement card because it's wands too. So very suitable for the Geminis. They like fast-paced energy. Lots of it's the card for the Aries people too, so it's very much movement, achieving, all that sort of thing. So it looks to me like, you know, there's been a lot going on for you already, and this month will be no exception. Let's see what the lesson is that you'll be learning in June, Gemini. The moon. So yes, another card of observation really. So this is perhaps, now we're getting to the crux of what this Four of Swords is. You haven't got the whole picture yet, Gemini. So just if there's something you feel that's hidden, or there's sort of a bit of darkness around a particular major area in your life and you can't really see clearly, it's a bit foggy, you're just going to have to wait, because there's some more information to come to light, but it's not going to come through yet. Use your intuition, especially in the first couple of weeks of June, because the moon often, I've found, can be like this in June. It can be quite tumultuous, the energy. Very airy, very much the wind blowing this way, then blowing that way. So it can be quite, just something's hidden. Something's not come to the surface yet. There's a hidden element. So it's about, yeah, what we already said, being receptive, taking a step back. You're not going to get the full answer yet. You're not going to see the picture clearly yet. And whenever you get the moon too, it's interesting because you won't be able to, no matter how many cards or attempts you have to try and decode what particular thing it is, you won't be able to. So there you go. But use your intuition is your best bet this month, in June anyway, in the time of Gemini. Near future, yeah, 9 of coins, so doing really well, focusing on things that are going well, career going well, material life going well, really doing a good job, strong, independent, female energy. I always relate this card to very strong female energy, and of course too for males, very strong energy of having things almost completed and feeling quite pleased with yourself, as you should be when you sort of get up to a 9. It's a pretty good number to get. It's the almost there card. So it's time to say, yeah, well, hey, look what I have done. Look what I have achieved. What's happening that you're not realising? Okay, so here we are. Now, 5 of Swords, so this is the card of those people, a group of people that really sort of, it can be quite disruptive because their opinions and their perspectives usually are quite unwelcome. So we know that they're unwelcome, especially in a workplace, or it can be some extended family members or just disgruntled people that you know that they rarely agree with what's going on, and they rarely give you good feedback. It's always sort of a bit on the negative side. So just watch out for that too, because you're doing well and everything is fine, but you just have to wait and see what happens. But just beware of this sort of energy. It's just conflict for the sake of it. And some people, unfortunately, are like that. And we know, and it doesn't mean to say we dislike them, it's just that we sort of don't really solicit their opinion, because you know exactly what they're going to say. And it probably won't be favourable. But it's about you just trusting your intuition this month, Gemini. How others see you. 10 of Cups, so absolutely emotionally stable. things going well, very cohesive emotional life at the moment, feeling good about yourself. It's a number 10. So what else can I say? And this is how the people see you. So no matter what's coming from this one down here, this 5 of Swords, just keep moving on with what you're doing at the moment and don't worry too much, because they'll probably dispute that you are the 10 of Cups. We love them all together though, doesn't matter. It's just their opinions are different, that's all. Positive feelings is the Star. So yes, you're on your path. Walk the path. Keep moving forward. Eternal hope. But also just, this is how it's meant to be. So just go with it this month. There's no need to stop. There's no need to look back. It's just about moving forward. And everything will be revealed when the time is right. Final outcome, 3 of Swords. Bit of a grief card at the end there, or you might stumble across that grief that you have about a situation from the past. And look, that's okay, but the main thing about grief is just to acknowledge that it's there and don't pretend it's not when it is. Because it's about acknowledging it and thinking, well, today I really didn't feel very good, but I acknowledged my feeling. So grief coming through. I'm just going to pop a explanatory card on that grief card there, the 3 of Swords. And perhaps the only other one that really warrants anything is that King of Swords. So whoever he is. One on the King of Swords, one on the 3 of Swords. Okay, so under the surface of this King of Swords we have the 2 of Coins. So it's about mental clarity for yourself about the direction you're going to be going in. Because there's good things coming in, there's completion coming in, but you are actually, there's something else coming up later on. So it's about sort of just giving that some consideration and clearing your mind out with the King of Swords. And in this case, he may be positive. It's about if you need to consult someone expert in a particular area of this 2 of Coins, of where you're going next career-wise, for example, consult him. See what he's got to say. Okay, let's see at the end of the June what is under this 3 of Swords, which was the grief card. And it's the card for Gemini, Knight of Swords. So expect the unexpected there, whatever that is. And often, it's interesting, grief is an unexpected, especially after a few years of missing someone or losing somebody. One might feel that things are going along well, and then it'll come at you right out of the blue and hit you like a truck. It's quite powerful. So always, I think, Knight of Swords is interesting with grief, because it is always sort of, he's very unexpected, this one. And it can disrupt. It comes in very quickly, disrupts you, and then leaves. But it's a messenger. So it's a reminder too of just, yeah, the acknowledgement of what's happening. Let's just pull one final card for you from the Buddha reading cards to see what is your card for June. The complementary card, Wisdom. Know well what leads you forward and what holds you back, and choose the path that leads to wisdom. As the Buddha taught, wisdom is the actual means by which we can purify ourselves. Just knowing this brings calmness and then faith, and eventually brings truth to the light. Okay, thank you so much for listening, Gemini. Happy birthday again. Have a good month.